गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं च शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्रह्माय नमः। ॐ हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण। ॐ पराशराय नमः। ॐ पराशराय नमः। ॐ पराशराय नमः। ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ। So we'll see this chart today. Somebody who listens to the classes, he called me. So basically we'll be explaining the chart. I'll give you the data. The birth data is 1983 May 12. The time of birth is 5:15 a.m. in the morning. The place of birth is Periyakulam, Tamil Nadu in India. Periyakulam, P-E-R-I-Y-A-K-U-L-A-M. Periyakulam.
Time one more time.
Time one more time, 5:15 a.m. 1983 May 12, 5:15 a.m. Periyakulam, Tamil Nadu. 77 degrees 32 minutes east, 10 degrees 7 minutes north.
May 12th, 1983.
May 12, 1983. Lagna should be 14 degrees Aries and moon should be 16:45 in Aries.
But 18 degrees Aries. Okay.
Lagna? Okay.
How should we save it as, sir?
Saved as NMK.
May 12, 1983, 5:15
AM. Periyakulam, India. IST. 77:32 east, 10:7 north it seems. It is there in the Jehora. It said 77:33 but he gave 32, so I just entered whatever he said.
32 and
Yes, I entered 77 east 32 and 10:7 north. Okay. So the death events, I think I asked him to give some events. Let's see if he gave. I think he did.
what is the
Only
name to save as?
NMK. NMK. So events. 1983 to 2000, lot of financial stress, worries and less peace of mind. Had good education in a very good famous school in the next town. Studies wise above average and concentrated much. So studied well, went to a good school close to house. But lot of financial stress all the way from 1993 till 2000. And 2000 got into college with some normal course. November 2000, elder sister got married. November 2001, sister gave birth to a baby girl. August 2001, got into a good college, into a good course. I will forward this whole text file to you after when I go home or tomorrow. I'll forward this text file so you don't have to write down everything. Whichever events we actually end up using, I will repeat them again. But I'm saying for those who are listening, I'll just mention. November 2000, elder sister got married. November 2001, sister gave birth to a baby girl. August 2001, got into a good college, into a good course. See, 2000 he got into a normal college, normal course. And here he got into a good college, into a good course as continuation of the same degree that started in 2000. This was August 2001. So that was a good period for education. Good break. Jan 2002, my maternal grandfather passed away. Jan 2002. College life was good with some financial stress. Well, okay. 2004 May to 2004 December, tough times and job search. He was looking for a job in that time. 2004 May to December. Very tough times. 2005 January got job in a small company. 2005 June got job in a reputed company with a good salary. That was 2005 June. 2005 October sister got married. Second sister got married. 2006 December that sister gave birth to a baby girl. 2007 October traveled to US. This is an important event. We'll use it. 2007 October traveled to US. And 2008 May got some health problems relating to kidney infection. 2008 May. And 2009 April visa issue, traveled to India. 2009 April. 2010 August traveled to US and staying in US till date. So 2009 April he went back to India for some visa issue, and then 2010 August he came back to US and he's been in US since then. And overall he says, I am a very simple and satisfied, hardworking and not interested in luxury, will get satisfied easily and not much expectations. Right now looking for marriage since 2 years. So I want to rectify my birth chart. So, and marriage basically, the event he is interested in is predicting marriage. So rectify the chart and predict marriage, and how will be kids, children and mental peace, happiness, etc. Okay. Let's see. First let us take, let's verify the higher level events. Basically, instead of studies which is D24 dependent, let's go with D4 first. He came to US in 2007 October. And then 2009 April there was a problem. He had to go back, and 2010 August he came back again. Okay. So let us use the Chaturthamsha D4 and let's use Vimshottari Dasha of D4. How much leeway do we have in Chaturthamsha? A lot of it.
We have 23 minutes.
23 minutes one way.
59.
3 minutes 18 seconds later.
318 in the forward direction.
Yeah.
So if the error is, if there is a more than 3.5 minute error, it may be the next one. Next one meaning, instead of Cancer, it may be Libra. Right? Okay. So, what Dasha did he come to US in? Jupiter Dasha. What Antar Dasha?
Ketu.
Jupiter Ketu he came to US. Can Jupiter Ketu take him abroad? Is there a chance of Jupiter Ketu taking him abroad? Based on simple rules.
Jupiter is the ninth lord.
Jupiter is the ninth lord in Bhadrakasthana. Okay. From Lagna. From Moon. Does he have any role from Moon? He is aspecting the 12th house. Right? And he is aspecting the 9th and 12th lord Mercury. He is aspecting 9th and 12th lord Mercury. He is aspecting the 12th house. Right? And then, what else? He is with the 7th lord Mars. So from Moon he is linked with all these. Of course he is not the strongest candidate, but he is linked with all these. He is with the 7th lord, aspecting 12th, aspecting 9th and 12th lord. Okay? And from Sun, how is it? Again from Sun he is aspecting the 9th lord, he is the 12th lord. And he is aspecting the 9th lord, and he is aspecting the 9th as well. And he is aspecting Bhadrakasthana and with the Bhadaka lord. So from Sun and Moon he is linking those two. And from Lagna, like we said, he is the 9th lord in the Bhadrakasthana. Okay? And does he have a link with the 12th house? Well, he aspects the 12th lord. 12th lord Mercury. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and by the way, aspect on Mercury is actually 95% aspect of Jupiter. So basically it's a very strong aspect. So all the three...
You are saying Sun? You said Sun aspecting 12th lord?
No, not Sun, Jupiter.
Jupiter. Jupiter aspecting the 12th lord.
Mercury and
From Sun, I said. See, we saw from Sun, from Moon, from Lagna. From Sun, the 12th lord is Jupiter himself,
Correct.
and the 9th lord is Mercury, and Jupiter has 95% aspect on Mercury. 95% very strong aspect on Mercury. And Bhadrakasthana is Scorpio from Sun, and Jupiter is with the lord of it, and he is aspecting it. So Jupiter is connecting all 9th, 12th and Bhadrakasthana from all the three differences. So Jupiter Dasha can keep him abroad. Most of the Jupiter Dasha he may be abroad. So that makes sense. Now Ketu, what is the thing with Ketu? Why should it? From Sun, Ketu is in the 12th house. From Lagna,
He is in the 6th house.
he is aspecting the 12th house. Basically Rahu Ketu axis is on the 12th house from Lagna as well as Sun. So Ketu is in the 12th from Sun and aspecting the 12th from Lagna, and from Moon, does he have any link with the 9th or 12th? He is aspecting the 9th house. Ketu is aspecting the 9th house from Moon. So Ketu has link with the 9th or 12th from all these. And the other thing is, when did he have a problem, visa problem? 2009 April.
During Venus.
So when the Venus period came, he had a problem. He had to go back to the motherland.
So why did we look at Ketu before?
Because in Ketu Antardasha he came to US for the first time.
Yeah.
And then there was in 2007.
Right.
Was it 2007?
2007 October.
7 October, no, October. So that was in Ketu period.
Correct.
So next Antardasha of Venus, he had a problem and went back to India. So from Sun, if you see from Sun, Venus is, he is in the 9th house, he is Yokaraka, he is divided in the 9th house. Right? And from Moon,
He is in the 12th.
He is in 12th.
he is in the Moon, from Moon he is in the 12th house, but he is Lagna Lord. Being the Lagna Lord in the 12th house, is he likely to take abroad or is he likely to, see he is the Lagna Lord. If he is 9th or 12th Lord or Bhadra Lord, his agenda is those. Lagna Lord's agenda and 5th Lord's agenda is
Going back to...
repatriate the person to the original place. So being the Lagna Lord, even though he is in the 12th house, so he is thinking of going abroad and he is working on his visa and all those things. But being the Lagna Lord, Venus had to give him residence in one country. Even from Sun, even though he is in the 9th house, he is the 5th Lord.
Right.
That's
what I was about to say.
Yeah, so he is the 5th Lord from Sun and Lagna Lord from Moon. So because of these things, he basically, he is not a strong candidate to keep him in the same place. He basically took him back to the motherland. From Lagna, he is the Bhadra Lord and he is aspecting the 9th house. So from Lagna there is no issue, but from Moon and Sun he is associated with the 1st and 5th houses, the houses we normally identify for going back. But the thing is, at the same time, he was in the 9th from Sun and the 12th from Moon. So this is not a clear case of just going back. This is a case of, even though he went back, he is still working on his visa. Now, when did he come back? 2010 August. He didn't give the date, but basically 2008 August, 2010 August 5, Venus Antardasha is getting over.
Yeah.
So probably it was basically as soon as Venus was over and Sun came. So why did Sun take him abroad? Sun is very clear.
He is with 9th Lord.
9th Lord.
From who?
From Sun.
Okay, from Sun. Okay, fine. From Sun, he is with the 9th Lord. Right? He is with the 9th Lord and he dominates there. He basically causes combustion of Mercury. So when Sun and Mercury are together, Sun dominates. So Sun, he is with the 9th Lord. From Moon, he is with the 9th and 12th Lord. Moreover, now he is Bhadra Lord. So he is the Bhadra Lord and he is with the he is with the 9th and 12th Lord. How about Lagna?
He is in the 7th house.
He is with the 12th Lord.
Lord in the 7th house.
He is with the 12th Lord and he is in the 7th house.
7th house of travels and
7th house of travels, etc. So, because of all these things, when Sun came, but bottom line is he doesn't have much to do with, his agenda is not 5th house or Lagna agenda. So, during that period, he came back. So the thing is, this makes reasonable sense. This makes pretty good sense. On the other hand, if Lagna was, actually, even Lagna of Libra would make sense. Because moon is there. So, but we will accept this for now. And then let's see the other event, other things. He basically said,
was he working when he was
Yeah.
back home in India, sir?
I don't know actually, he didn't mention. Let's see the time that he identified as bad time in the career. Let's go to D10 now. Use D10. Again, 3.5 minute leeway is there forward. So we can see if Lagna is Leo or it should be Virgo. He did not mention what job he does, but probably computer job, but don't know for sure. When did he say there was a bad time? Yeah, tough times in job 2004 May to December. He was searching for a job. 2005 Jan he found a job, and then again 2000 he came to US. When did he come? And actually 2005 Jan he found a job and got a job in a reputed company with good salary. Okay, so he got a
good job in 2005.
5 June. 2005 Jan he got a job. 2005 June he got a better job in a good company, and then he came to US on work in 2007 November. Okay, so bottom line is 2004 second half should be bad for some reason, and 2005 onwards good period, especially after 2005 June. Let us see the D10 Jyothishya.
2005 is what you are looking at when you got a job.
2004 May to December bad time.
Everything is Rahu.
Searching for a job and not finding a job. 2005 January he found a job. 2005 June he got a better job. So it was in Rahu Ketu period.
Right.
Everything was in Rahu Ketu. Rahu Ketu first half he had struggle. Second half he basically got good breaks. So Rahu Ketu shows some kind of suffering and reversal. Does it make sense?
2004 అంటే మెర్క్యూరీలోనా కాదు
Rahu period. Rahu.
You have to change it to
D10. So let us see. Rahu, he is in the 12th house, right?
Right.
Rahu is in the 12th house. So is he good for career or bad for career?
Bad for career.
He is average. He's not really that good. He's not a great planet in this chart. From Lagna. From Sun, he is the second lord of wealth. From Sun, of resources. And in the 7th house. From Moon, he is the 6th lord of service in the 11th house of gains. So from Moon he is well placed. From Sun he is okay. 7th house is not great for Rahu, but he is the second lord. So he wants to give some wealth. And then from Lagna, he is the 7th lord in the 12th house. So overall he is okay. He is not really that good. And moreover, 7th house dominates. From Lagna he is the 7th lord. From Sun he is in the 7th house. So if you see and even from Moon he aspects the 7th house. So 7th house is one common link between the three differences. So he has a strong influence on 7th house. What does 7th house give? Either business or desires.
Right.
So basically Rahu gives desires, which means instead of whether he has a job or not, he is thinking of job, he has a desire to get a job, he has maybe some problem in getting service, and then all those things. Basically he's average. He's not either terrible. It's not like he's in the 8th house or something. He's not terrible. At the same time, he's not really that good. But he would have been actually decent for having an own business. Now, let us see how is the Ketu period. So Ketu in the beginning gave some suffering, but later Ketu gave a good break. Right? Ketu gave a good break. Does it make sense?
Ketu with Lagna Lord and Ninth Lord.
From Sun, Ketu is in Lagna. From Sun, Ketu is in Lagna. He is with the 4th and 11th Lord and also 8th Lord. From Moon, he is the 3rd Lord in the 5th house. From Moon. And from Lagna, he is the 4th Lord in the 6th house. What kind of a planet is he? Can a good break in career during Ketu period make sense? What do you think?
It does make sense, sir. Because Ketu is with Sun and Mars,
Yes,
which are very good for that particular Lagna, and
Yeah.
from that perspective it makes
sense.
Other than Rahu giving something, Ketu has a better chance
Right.
of giving here.
So the thing is, Ketu from Sun, he is afflicting the Badhaka Lord and afflicting the 8th Lord, so he shows some problems also. From Lagna as well, even though he is in the 6th house, which is a good placement for him, he is basically he is afflicting Sun and Mars. It's not like he is a friend of those. But the thing with Ketu is, his nature is dependent on who he is with. He is with Sun and Mars, so his nature, he becomes a benefic basically. He is a benefic planet, but at the same time he is afflicting Sun and Mars. He is causing eclipse of Sun and Mars. So he is showing a bit of problem. But at the same time, he also has he has blessings. He is a benefit. And from moon, he is in the fifth house. And being in the fifth house, he is basically Ketu's nature is decided by where he is and who he is with. In the fifth house, Ketu is a benefic, but he is with Sun and Mars. Sun is neutral and Mars is a malefic. So overall, Ketu is a neutral planet from Moon. Okay? But again, because he is with the 8th Lord, he can get a lot of tensions in the career. Now with the from Sun, he is affecting the Bhasda Lord and the 8th Lord. So he can again see there is a link with the 8th house in all the cases, except Lagna, right? Ketu has a link with the 8th house from Sun as well as Moon. So he will give some suffering. It will not be smooth. So within Ketu period, there was some suffering. But the thing is, if you look at the Prachantra Dashas within Ketu,
from Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, it got better.
Yeah. The good break finally was in Saturn period. In June he got a good job. That was basically in the Saturn period. Can Saturn be good for career? Can he give a good placement?
Saturn is sixth lord. Sixth and
Actually, he only said June. We don't know if it is Saturn or Mercury. So let us say it is Mercury. It is basically Rahu, Ketu, Mercury. How is Mercury? From Sun, he is the 9th Lord in the 11th house.
Yeah.
With the Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord and 9th Lord together in the 11th house.
Yeah.
That is a good Rajoga. From Moon, it is Lagna Lord and 6th Lord together and aspecting 9th house. Again a good Rajoga. Right? So from Sun and Moon, they are giving good Rajoga. How about from Lagna?
Yes,
Second, 11th and 2nd and 11th.
fourth.
Second and 11th Lord, a malefic. Mercury is a malefic. And he is with Saturn. There isn't really, given that he was struggling and then he found a job, but okay job, and suddenly he found a good job. And from 2005 second half, his career basically was different. So it is likely that even from Lagna, those planets should be giving some kind of yoga. So let us add 3.5 minutes. And he wasn't sure about the time. He basically gave the time and he said there could be error. We need 3:18 or something, but let's just make a round number, 3.5 minutes. So make it 5:18:30. Now Lagna will be, now Chaturthasya we don't have to revisit. Even in Chaturthasya things do make sense. Because we already explained from Moon. So here, Lagna is containing Moon.
But Chaturthasya also it is 3 minutes in something it was changing.
Same. That is why I am saying. We don't have to look at it because Moon is already there. Lagna will move to where Moon is already.
Correct.
We already explained from Moon, so that will hold for Lagna. Now,
In this case also the same thing happens.
in this case also the same thing happens. But the thing is now, from Lagna, from Moon, from Sun, all the three references, this guy, Mercury, is giving a...
But if it makes sense with Lagna and Moon, you asked us to look at Lagna and Moon because they are together, it is much more stronger.
It is stronger, right. So basically, now Ketu, even though he is associated with the 8th Lord, everybody, even though he is associated with bad planets, he gave some suffering because of it, but eventually, because he is in the 5th house, he is basically a benefic in the 5th house, he gave good results, and that basically happened in the Saturn and Mercury Antardashas. Saturn and Mercury and Prachantra Dashas basically triggered fortune. Now, let us see one more thing. With the earlier one, the career would be seen by the 10th house from Lagna is Taurus. Now the 10th house from Lagna is Gemini.
Gemini, sir.
So basically, I don't know exactly what job he is doing, but very likely a computer kind of job. And that would make more sense with the Virgo Lagna. So let us accept this Virgo Lagna and let's go to studies. D24.
Seconds earlier.
Yeah.
Very close.
Right, same border basically. At the same border, because Lagna is at 15 degrees, right? Everything changes there. So bottom line is either our rectification based on Dashansa is correct or this will not make sense. Because otherwise you have to add 4.5 more minutes. So very likely the Siddhanta is correct. If our D10 rectification was correct, this D24 Lagna will be correct. So let us see the event he gave.
August 2001, good for studies, he said.
August 2001, good for studies, is it? Yeah. August 2000 he got into a college, but 2001 August was a good break. He got into a good school, and that was basically a good break. So 2001 August, what Dasha was running based on D24 Vimshatri Dasha?
Rahu Jupiter.
Rahu Jupiter. How is that?
Jupiter is Lagna.
See, Rahu ignore. Rahu ignore. Look at Atha Dasha here. Because you are talking about something that made a difference for those couple of few years. So, Jupiter. See, Rahu is from Lagna, Rahu is in the 5th house, and Jupiter is the 5th lord. So, basically 5th is Korapunda, so some good lucky break is possible. Okay? But of course, in order to give that result, even though from Lagna, Jupiter is very well placed, being the 5th lord in Lagna, he has to have some link with the 5th or 9th house from Sun and Moon also in order to give that result completely. So from Sun, he is aspecting the 5th lord, right?
Yeah.
From Moon, again he is dispositing the 5th lord and also aspecting the 5th lord. So he has a link with the 5th house from all the three differences. So he triggers Purvapunda. Make sense? So this rectification makes sense. So let us accept this. And are there any other events? Are there any other events that we want to look at?
Sister marriage and all.
Sister marriage may not really make much difference because Rekana is in the very middle. 15 degrees is in the middle of 10 and 20. So basically the leeway will be 1/3 of 120 minutes is 40 minutes. So 20 minutes backward, 20 minutes forward approximately. That will be the leeway. So that won't really...
Do we know what he studied, sir?
What?
Do we
He didn't mention. So let's ignore that. But the thing is, if you want the sister marriage, we can use it as just as an exercise basically. We can't really say anything from it. November 2000 sister got married.
Yeah, but one thing in the education, you said initially that bad period.
It's not bad period. He said financial.
No, but he
tough time.
not that great college. Not a great
Yeah,
college.
he didn't say bad period. He joined some college. Later he moved to a better college.
So does it mean that in the initial 1 year or whatever he wasn't in a good college, would that show up?
May or may not. Let's see.
So this should have been
the same time frame?
It's in the same time
the
frame.
same.
Yeah, it's in the same time frame.
2001 Jan into 2001, so it's same time frame. Rahu
Actually, I don't know if it's Jan or not. I don't know when he got into college for the Namako. He didn't give the date. Only the better period he gave the date. So I don't know for sure. Maternal grandfather passed away, we can see.
D12 or
D12. January 2002. Jan 2002, maternal grandfather passed away. Jan 2002. Mother's father basically, maternal grandfather. How do you see it? Jan 2002, what was the D12 Vimshati Dasarani?
Saturn.
Huh? Saturn Mercury, very good. So Saturn Mercury. Mother's father, how do you see mother's father?
9,004.
Yeah,
9 from 4.
yeah.
That is Virgo.
That is Virgo. Okay. Is either Saturn or Mercury a Marka? Is either of them a Marka?
Taking Virgo as Lagna.
Hmm?
Taking the Virgo as
Yeah, taking Virgo as Lagna. We don't know whether to take the ninth lord from the ninth house from the fourth or ninth lord from the fourth or ninth from the fourth lord, or ninth lord from the fourth lord. There are several possibilities. We have only seen parents. We have never seen the grandparents, siblings of parents.
L4, right?
After switching to Siddhanta, yes.
L4, that
We used to, but we stopped all that now. We basically simplified everything after moving to Siddhanta. So we have never really, we have seen parents several times, parents and siblings. But we haven't seen the grandfather. But the thing is, just taking the ninth from fourth. For parents, just taking the fourth and just taking the ninth was making sense. But for grandfather, he is the ninth from...
uncle, right?
No, maternal grandfather. Mother's father. So ninth from fourth, is it making sense?
Mercury is not the
Yeah.
marker.
Right.
For sure.
Okay, it doesn't make sense. Let's not basically, let's not try to solve the problem. So obviously, just taking that doesn't make sense. Moreover, if simply the ninth house from the fourth house were to show father of mother, it will also show mother of father. So mother of father and father of mother will always be linked together. They will be seen by the same, from the same reference. So obviously there's something else. Maybe for mother you take the fourth, but for mother's father you have to do something else. Maybe from A4 or L4 or fourth lord, from that you have to take the ninth. But we have to, instead of jumping to conclusions based on one or two charts, we have to take our own time, our own sweet time to come to a conclusion. Bottom line is, that doesn't simply taking the ninth from fourth doesn't work in this case. As a matter of fact, if you try several other charts also, it's not really consistent. So that is one thing. The other thing is sister's marriage. Can we see that? Just as an exercise. It won't help us in rectification, just as an academic exercise. Sister's marriage. When did she get married? 2000?
So we have
November. Yeah?
we had a rule that first sibling is
Yeah. Because we don't know better, we haven't done any research, we'll continue with that rule. Okay? So, elder sister got married. How do you see that? 2000 November. What was the D3 Vimshottari Dasa running?
Moon.
Moon?
Moon Rahu.
Moon Rahu. Very good. So, Moon Rahu gave marriage of sister. How do you see sister? How do you see the first sibling? This is an odd sign. Both Lagna and Moon are together, so we'll give importance to that. We'll ignore Sun. We'll see from Lagna and Moon. So, 11th house will show the first sibling. So, that will be Aquarius. Gemini.
Gemini.
So, Gemini is the Lagna. So, Moon Dasa, can it give marriage? Well, he is in a Kamatrikona, he is in the third house. He is aspecting the ninth house of Dharma. So, some dharmic activities are possible. And he is the second lord of family, so building a family is possible for sibling, for the elder sister. And more importantly, look at the Antardasya of event. Rahu Antardasya, can it give marriage? Absolutely, because he is the ninth lord, aspecting the seventh in Lagna. So he shows dharma, dharmic activities, and he is aspecting seventh house. And he is aspecting Lagna lord as well. So Lagna lord, ninth lord together on the Lagna seventh axis. So there is a Rajoga between Rahu and Mercury, right? So Rahu Antardasya can give siblings wedding. Now in 2001 November, she gave birth to a baby girl. 2001 November. What was the Antardasya then?
Do we also see Rahu to Moon, so Moon to Rajmini to see the Bhoga and Paka? And
Yeah, you can do. So from Moon to Rahu, the Bhoga is in Aries, which is the 11th house. So in that Antardasya, the basic result is gains, gains in various matters. Now, if you see the next Antardasya of Jupiter, that gave child, 2001 November. So childbirth was in Jupiter. Why Jupiter? Can Jupiter give a child in this chart? Does he have any link? Does he have any link with the 7th house, 5th house?
You're taking
Fifth
which
from
one?
the Gemini.
Yeah.
You're taking which one as Lagna in this case?
Gemini.
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 Yeah, Gemini has Lagna. Yeah. Well,
Jupiter might have he might have an aspect on Venus Saturn in that way.
yeah, actually that's the thing. See, one thing is, if you look at Venus, Venus is definitely a good candidate for giving child.
Saturn.
Because he is the 5th lord in the 5th house. Right? Venus being the 5th lord in the 5th house, he could have given it. But the thing is, Jupiter being the Karaka in one house, Jupiter is a Karaka, he is in one house, he is having 92% aspect on Venus. So having 92% aspect on Venus, not only that, if you take the 5th house itself, so from Lagna if we see, from Lagna if you take the 5th house, it is a, basically you can look at the aspect table and see the 3rd house from Lagna. Aspect of Jupiter on the 3rd house from Lagna, right? Because that is the 5th from 11.
Okay.
So that aspect is 80%. So he has 80% aspect on 5th house and 92% aspect on 5th lord. And he is the Karaka for children. So he is a candidate. Of course, if you are making a prediction, you would have expected
Venus or
Venus. Even Saturn, he is exalted in the 5th house. But it happened to be Jupiter. But Jupiter is also a good candidate. He also, he does make some sense. Now, the next thing is, the second sister got married in 2005 October. That was Moon Ketu. Second sister, how do you see?
Third from that 11th.
No. You see,
Basically.
cannot
Aries.
actually, is this elder sister or second sister? I'm not sure if it's elder sister or
How
elder.
accurate are these taking from his Lagna, his sister, her daughter, sister having a daughter, and then how
Yeah.
accurate are these things? We are just explaining something, or it's just
Actually, quite honestly, I haven't done a lot of analysis with it. I'm not sure. I won't really watch for it.
And is this the first sister? Is it elder or?
Actually, yeah. First elder sister, he said. The second sister, is she elder or younger? I'm not 100% sure. Let's leave the sisters then. Are there any other events we can see? Health. 2008 May, health problem. Kidney infection. Lot of stress due to the health. 2008 May.
So go back to natal.
Yeah, Rashi. Health is always Rashi.
why wouldn't you take D6?
No, we can, but Rashi should also show it, right? Rashi is the main thing for the physical body. So first see the Rashi, then you can do whatever you want. D60, RA, D6, or even D30. First look at Rashi. 2008 May.
Moon Saturn.
Moon Saturn.
Moon is 4th lord in Lagna.
How is Moon Saturn?
Moon is in Lagna.
Moon, Lagna, Sun, all three references on the same.
Oh, good, that's good. So
Strong.
how is Moon Saturn period? Can it give? He had some kidney problems. Kidney and urinary tract problems. Some infection there. And a lot of stress because of it. Saturn has 90% aspect on Moon, 82% aspect on Sun, and 92% aspect on Lagna. Okay? So he has very close aspect on all three, luminaries as well as Lagna. And is he a benefic or malefic?
10th, 11th.
He is overall a malefic.
Malefic.
He is overall a malefic, but not a very strong malefic. Because 10th is okay for Saturn. Because he is a natural malefic. So 10th is slightly benefic and 11th is very malefic. So overall he is a slight malefic. So he is a malefic planet having Uchabhanga. He is in Ucha but retrograde. So he is having Uchabhanga. He is basically a malefic planet. And he is not a friend of Sun Moon. So his aspect on Sun Moon is
Not that great.
not that great. His aspect on Sun Moon is not that great. It's actually bad. It's bad for them. And
Fourth is flooding.
when Saturn is aspecting Moon, mental peace basically going away and some stress makes perfect sense. Well, right? Moon Saturn period or Saturn Moon period can give stress when Saturn is aspecting Moon or with Moon. It basically shows depression, sadness, etc. Now, health problem given by Saturn, does it make sense? Why will Saturn give health problem? Does he have to do with 6th house or anything? Well, he is aspecting the 6th lord also, but his aspect on 6th lord must be lower. Let me see.
9.
It's 85%. Okay, it is still good enough. So he is aspecting 8th lord with 85% aspect. Sorry, 6th lord with 85% aspect. But not only that, he has another link. Apart from aspecting the 6th lord, there is one more thing. What is it? He is the Badhaka lord. He can give sudden problems. From Lagna, Aries Lagna, Saturn, Aquarius is the Badhaka Sthana. Saturn is the lord.
Saturn or Rahu.
Yeah. So being the Badhaka lord, he can give health problems. And what kind of problems? He is in the 7th house. So kidney and urinary tract, that is basically shown by, kidney is shown by the kidney, uterus, all these things are shown by 7th house. So kidney problems makes perfect sense. Right? Now, let us see the D6, because Seshu suggested D6. Let us go to D6. How is D6? What is the dasha running at that time?
2008, sir.
2008, basically, Ketu dasha just started. Ketu just started and then health problems started. Why? Can Ketu give health problems? From Lagna as well as from Moon. Ketu is the 5th lord, but more than lordship, where they are decides whether they are benefics or malefics for nodes. For other planets it is what they own. For Rahu Ketu, where they are and who they are with. So, in the 11th house he is a malefic. And he is with Saturn. Is Saturn a benefic or malefic? He is a slight benefic. 7th and 8th lord. So, slight benefit. So, on account of company he is a slight benefit. On account of placement he is a malefic. So, overall Ketu is a
Neutral.
malefic. Slight malefic. Now, but the problem is, in Shashtamsa, Badhaka sign is a very bad sign. You don't say 11th house of gains, etc. It is 11th house of, basically, it happens to be Badhaka house here. So, being in the Badhaka Sthana, with the 8th lord that too. He is linked with the 8th lord also. Being in 8 lords basically, both the 8 lords are there and in the Badhaka Sthana. So Ketu can give health problems. And what else? And let's see D30.
Because of the 8th lordship, there should be sudden in nature.
Yeah, 8th lordship, it can be a sudden thing.
It's not like recurring or
Right.
something.
And also because of Badhaka lord, it may be tough to diagnose, or Badhaka can also show sudden things and also tough to diagnose things.
And also from Sun he is with the 6th lord.
Yeah,
And the Moon is December.
right.
Tim Sun, it is Mars.
Where are you going to now?
D30 Kshatriya Dasara. What was the Dasara at that time?
Mars, Venus.
Mars, Venus.
Okay, one thing. Actually, what I do is, I suggest Trinshamsa Vimshatri Dasa, Trinshamsa divisional longitudes. I have recently concluded after research that go to the divisional chart calculation options, Alt PCD, Alt PCD.
Alt PCD.
Alt PCD. Basically preferences related to calculations, divisional chart calculation options. In the Trimshamsa chart to be used, standard Trimshamsa is obviously selected already for you, right? Make sure it is. Below that there is a checkbox. Map each 1 degree in Rashi to 30 degree in D30. So uncheck that. If you do that, basically, see the way Trimshamsa is defined by Parashara is these 5 degrees are mapped to this sign, these 6 are mapped to this, these 8 are mapped to this. Like that, it's a non-linear, these non-uniform divisions. Rashi is divided into 5 different parts. Each is mapped to one particular sign. And this option, what it does is, you can either map that whole section to the Rashi, which will suppose a particular 8 degree portion is mapped to a sign in the D30. You can start from the beginning of that 8 degree portion and go to the end, and you can prorate it to 30 degrees. The other option is just take every 1 degree. Basically, think that even though he said these 8 degrees are mapped to Gemini, it's basically like each 1 degree is mapped to Gemini. D30 is 1/30th of a Rashi, so it's basically 30 divisions. Each 30 division he basically is saying is mapped to Gemini. So that is the other option, and that is what I was. That was the default earlier. That is what I was using, and what Vinay Jha uses is basically the whole division being mapped to the Rashi. And when I was working on natal as well as mundane charts, divisional charts, I found much better results with the D30 when I used the other approach. So uncheck that box and then see the dasha.
Is this what you would suggest to do?
Yeah, this is what I suggest going forward. Yes. This is what I suggest going forward. Uncheck that box. So the dasha will be,
when you have a default, it will be unchecked.
it will be changed. In the next revision, the default will be changed.
Sun, sir.
Sun dasha was running,
Ketu.
and
Mercury Ketu.
Sun Mercury. Sun Mercury brought the problem in the kidney infection. Now, okay, Sun. The thing is, this is not, whole Sun dasha wasn't bad. It was basically the Antardasha that triggered. But Sun, even though he is the 9th lord, he is basically debilitated. So he is weak. So during Sun dasha, some problems are possible. And now, more importantly, Mercury. Mercury is, if you look at this chart, Mercury is the Badhaka lord.
In the Badhaka house.
Badhaka lord in the Badhaka sthana. So he can give health problems. Badhaka lord in the Badhaka sthana can certainly give health problems. Moreover, he aspects the 8th and 6th lords. See, Moon and Venus are in the Lagna. They are also quite bad. But the thing is, Mercury is aspecting them. So he has control over 6th, 8th and Badhaka sthana. So, and he is in one house and he is the strongest planet in this chart. So he can give health problems. Yeah, so he wanted to time the marriage. So let's go to marriage now. And he also said mental peace and health. How will be health and mental peace? Let us look at D30 Vimshati Dasha and see how the health is. Right now Moon Dasha is running. Is it a good Dasha for health?
No. Is the 8th Lord's Dasha.
Sadly, I don't think Moon Dasha is a good Dasha for health. He is the 8th Lord in the Lagna, so he should watch out. Even based on D6, go back to D6. D6 Vimshatri, how is the health prospects? How are the prospects of health? What is the Dasha running right now? Ketu, still Ketu. Ketu is still in Bhadrasthana. After that Venus will come. And where is Venus?
In the 12th house.
In the 12th house of hospitalization, aspecting 6th house, and he is Badhaka Lord. So again, he is not that great. And how is the Rashi chart? Because that is the key for health. Dasha running right now is that of Moon still. Moon is okay. Moon is Lagna Lord. He is in Lagna, 4th Lord of peace in Lagna. He is okay. So depending on Antardasha, he can give problems, but overall he is not a terrible planet. Actually, is he not? He is Amavasya Moon. So he is actually a very weak moon. He was born on Amavasya, if you look.
We are looking at Rashi right now.
Rashi right now. So he was born on Amavasya. So moon is a new moon. He is a nearly empty moon. So he is a highly Vata moon. He is a highly unstable moon. So there can be some proneness, and he is aspected by Saturn. Amavasya moon aspected by Saturn. So some proneness to depression, sadness, etc. is possible. So Moon Dasha is not really that great, given that D30 and D6 are not showing good Dasha. The next dasha is that of
Mars.
Mars.
Lagna Lord.
How is Mars? He is a Lagna Lord and 8th Lord aspecting 8th house. So there is some concern, but overall my take is
Lagna Lord.
he is Lagna Lord. At the end of the day, he is Lagna Lord. Even though he is also the 8th Lord aspecting 8, he will give some health problems, but it won't be as serious. So my feeling is, for another couple of years, another year and a half or so, he has some suffering. After that, things will be fine. Things will be much better. Okay, so health-wise, our prediction is, things will be much better from 2013 middle. Until then, he has to be a little careful. Now, what about the marriage? Navamsha, we have enough leeway. It's in the middle of the Navamsha. So let us switch to Navamsha chart and look at the Vimshottari.
Right now is Rahu, very long period.
Yeah,
Mercury.
Rahu, Mercury.
yeah. Rahu Mercury is running.
The 7th Lord.
Can Rahu give marriage at all? Well, Lagna and Moon are in Cancer. He is the 7th Lord from them. Even from Sun, he is the 5th Lord. So he can give marriage.
Why Lagna
Lagna Moon are not in Cancer.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at a wrong chart.
Yeah, but Lagna-
Yeah, so Lagna is Cancer, Leo.
Leo.
So Rahu is the 7th Lord. From Moon, he is aspecting the 7th house. He is the 6th Lord in the 3rd house, aspecting the 7th house. From Sun, he is, from Sun,
The 3rd Lord in the 12th house.
3rd Lord in the 12th house and doesn't really show doesn't have much to do with marriage. So overall, this Rahu is, from two references, he's okay. So Rahu Dasha, there is a prospect of marriage. It's a long Dasha though. Let's look at the current Antardasha. The current Antardasha, Mercury runs for a long time. Can it give marriage?
Saturn was good, sir, actually. How was Saturn?
Well, Saturn, the thing is, from Sun he is not showing marriage. Even from Moon, he's not really, he doesn't have much to do with the 7th house. Only from Lagna he is the 7th Lord. If you look at Mercury, he is the 7th Lord from Sun. He is the Lagna Lord from Moon. 7th Lord from Sun, Lagna Lord from Moon. And from Lagna, does he have any link with marriage? From Lagna.
The 2nd house Lord.
He is the 2nd Lord of family, and in the 3rd house, a Kama Trikona, that's it. Not strongly showing it, even from Lagna. So from Sun and Moon, he can give marriage. From Lagna, he is not
He's
that
also
strong.
aspecting the 9th house. He's also aspecting the 9th house from Lagna.
He is also aspecting the 9th house from Lagna. Right. Okay, that's a good point. He is aspecting the 9th house from Lagna. So there is some scope for marriage, but the thing is, it's not showing that strongly. Let us look at Chardasha. But there is some prospect in the next year and a half. Let's look at Chardasha of D9. What is the Dasha running right now? Sagittarius.
Yes, Sagittarius for a long time.
Can Sagittarius give marriage?
5th house.
5th house.
Yeah. It is the 5th house of Purvapunya. It contains Lagna Lord
Lagna
Sun.
Lord Sun and 5th Lord.
Yeah. And taking that as Lagna and 9th Lords are together in it, giving a Raj Yoga. So this can definitely give marriage. Chardasha of Sagittarius.
For this, why are you taking 5th house as the Lagna?
Oh, Sagittarius. No, Sagittarius Dasha.
Sagittarius, the Charad Dasha Lord as the Lagna.
Dasha sign as Lagna.
Dasha sign as the.
Chardasha, you judge 2 ways. From the Lagna, how is the Dasha sign? Is it having good planets? Is it having conducive planets for the event? It is having Lagna Lord, so it can give marriage. And secondly, you see, take that as Lagna and see how the combinations are. So if you take that as Lagna, there is a Raj Yoga in Lagna, and the 7th Lord is in 11th house of fulfillment. So there is a potential for marriage. And when will be a good period for that?
Do you use the 3-part tool again in the same
No. We just see the transits from Chardasha sign. So currently,
You don't go to Antardashas in this.
no, I haven't even taught under Dashas. So we just use the transit, take that as the Dasha sign as Lagna and see the transits. transits have to be basically conducive.
Just open up
Transits
another
means
chart.
current transits.
Yeah.
Open up another chart.
Yeah, open up another chart. Right. So, right now Jupiter is in Lagna. Right? Basically look at transits of Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu.
Jupiter is in Lagna.
Sorry, Jupiter is aspecting Lagna, I meant. He's in the 5th house. Right now Jupiter is in the 5th house and aspecting Lagna. Okay? So Jupiter, the aspect of the Lagna Lord on Lagna is very auspicious. Okay? And Rahu, Ketu, they are on their natal axis. In the natal Navamsha, Rahu, Ketu are in Scorpio, Taurus. They are in the same signs now. So Rahu, Ketu are transiting. I mean, this is not Chardasha, this is generally. Rahu, Ketu are having natal Navamsha transit.
Can you go back again? You said that we are now taking the Sagittarius as the
Lagna are seeing the transits from it.
of Rahu, Ketu.
Forget about Rahu Ketu. Rahu Ketu is not about Chardasha. Rahu Ketu are transiting in the signs they occupied in the natal Navamsha. So Rahu Ketu are the planets who bring changes in life. So when they are transiting in the same signs, they can trigger some changes in life, in that area of life. So that is the thing basically. So Rahu Ketu being in Taurus, Scorpio right now, which are the signs occupied by them in the natal Navamsha, is conducive to marriage.
It is not in my case. It's not. It's in Cancer. I'm showing as a current transit. Ketu is in Cancer.
In Rashi chart?
No.
No, not talking. Yeah, I'm also showing the same. I'm talking about the Rashi transit. Transit is Rashi, but I'm comparing with the natal Navamsha chart. Okay? So natal Rashi transit is on the, current Rashi transit is on the natal Navamsha position of Rahu Ketu. So it can show some transformation in life in that area of life.
I'm not following you. You are looking at D9 as a reference.
D9, Rahu Ketu are in Taurus, Scorpio.
Correct.
Right? Right now, in the Rashi chart, they are transiting in Taurus, Scorpio, Rahu Ketu. So the thing is, the current Rahu Ketu are triggering the natal Navamsha Rahu Ketu.
See, the natives, Rahu Ketu is in Taurus, Scorpio, but the same as current transits are going in Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, Rahu Ketu are the planets of change, transformation, big changes basically.
They are transiting the natal Navamsha of D9.
Mhm.
Okay.
So in general, when you have Rahu Ketu transiting in the Rashi chart, in the same sense they occupy in a particular natal divisional chart. In that area of life, there can be some upheavals or some big changes in life. So basically, from that principle point of view, there is a chance in the next year or year and a half.
Actually, even
Now, Chardasha, come to Chardasha. From Sagittarius, see, Chardasha, the rule is, the Lagna Lord is important, the relevant house Lord is important, 7th Lord in this case. 7th house and Lagna. See transits on those, they have to be good transits on those, and if the Lord is exalted or in own sign or aspecting the sign, that is auspicious. So, Mithri will be changing every month, so forget about Mithri. Taking Jupiter's transit is key. So Jupiter will be either associated with Gemini or Sagittarius at the time of marriage, during this period. So right now Jupiter is aspecting Lagna, Sagittarius, right, from Aries. So there is a chance of marriage. Either this or when Jupiter comes to
The 7th, which is
Gemini. Jupiter's Gemini transit a year or year and a half later, that is very auspicious for marriage in 2030. So that and current period are conducive. Let's go to Tadika chart now.
Of 2011.
Yeah, current. See if there is a chance this year. Okay. How is the current year start? Is there a chance of marriage?
Lagna Lord is 9th. Going back to Vimshatri, right?
First look at the Navamsa. Tajika chart Navamsa. Vimshatri only, but before Dasha, just see the chart and see what is the potential. Is there a potential of marriage this year?
I don't think
The seventh Lord is in 8th.
Yeah, 7th Lord is in 8th house.
Yeah,
Is
they
that,
have 9th Lord in 8th too.
but 9th Lord also. So 8th house can show sudden events also. It's not necessarily bad. So 7th Lord and 9th Lord are together.
That is also good.
Lagna Lord is in 9th house. So in the
Same
Navamsa,
thing from here and
Jupiter and Venus, how close are they? They are 8 degrees apart. So not too far away. They are reasonably close. So there is a Rajoga between 7th Lord and Lagna 9th Lord. So there is a chance of marriage. And if you compare with next year, just for reference,
and
how is
9th seems to
2012?
be extremely strong here.
Pardon me?
9th house is pretty strong with
Yes.
Strong.
Yeah.
Is it?
with
It has the Lagna Lord and
6th
Fifth
Lord,
Lord.
Lagna Lord and
It also has the 8th Lord.
It also has the 8th
Eighth
Lord.
Lord.
But luckily 8th Lord is at the other end of the sign. Of course, Saturn is also with him.
Yeah.
But Lagna Lord, Mercury is at one end and Saturn and Mars are at the other end.
but do you also consider Parivartana, Rahu, Mars and Venus in this case? You don't.
You can look at the Parivartana. But is that a good Parivartana?
Not much.
Not really. It's a bad yoga. So Mars and Saturn are bad planets in here. They're reflecting the Lagna Lord and Mars is having Parivartana with Venus. But Mercury is well placed. Venus and Jupiter are well placed. So these are the three planets who are conducive for marriage. This is from Lagna and Moon.
Sun.
But they are together, so let's give importance to that. Now, how is 2012? Just as a reference. Is it better or worse? And then we'll come back to this, if this is better. Is it showing any chance of marriage?
Lagna Lord is 9th.
Huh?
Lagna
Lagna Lord is in 9th, but the thing is 9th Lord is in the 8th house.
8th house.
And not really with Yokarka, 9th Lord, okay, Mercury, Venus are in 8th house.
Badhaka Lord in the 8th
But the
house.
thing is, the 7th Lord, he is not really,
Is in the 3rd house, sir.
he is in the 3rd house, but there is a samsattva between Lagna Lord and 7th Lord, but they are far apart. So overall, this is not that impressive. Compared to this, current year chart is looking better.
But current year chart, whatever planets we talked about, almost time is
Okay.
are over.
Okay, we'll see. So go to the Nakshatra Dasha of Vimshatri, D9 Vimshatri Dasha.
Back to natal chart?
Yeah.
Vimshatri D9. No, 2011. Oh, 2011.
2011 Vimshatri Tajika chart and make Vimshatri. So right now is Mercury Dasha.
Yeah, right now.
This is conducive.
Yeah, that is the condition.
This is a conducive Dasha. He can get married. Ketu, not really. But Venus, in February end, Venus comes. And that stays till next May, middle of May. Venus is there for 2 months. Solid, 2.5 months actually. So Venus is conducive. So that also can give marriage. So there is a pretty good chance that he can get married before his birthday.
Jupiter period, sir.
It's over, right?
What? No, I didn't say Jupiter, I meant Venus.
No,
Jupiter period is over.
it's now Mercury, then Ketu and Venus.
The thing with Venus is, he is not only the 9th Lord with the 7th Lord, he is also the dispositor of the Lagna Lord Mercury.
Correct.
So he is even more important than Jupiter. So Venus can give the marriage. And of course Mercury being the Lagna Lord can give marriage. But so bottom line is,
What 3 planets I was thinking, sir. Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus.
yes, these are the 3 planets who have a chance of giving marriage. But the bottom line is, this is not a clear case like you say, that's it. There are weaknesses as well as strengths. So, but there is a pretty good chance, there is a 60-70% chance of marriage before the birthday. So good luck to him.
That may happen sudden also, right?
It may happen suddenly because there is 8th house involvement. It may suddenly be arranged. But the thing is, he's in US and marriage will probably happen in India. So of course it can be sudden, but there has to be some plan. It can't suddenly one day you see a girl and you get married.
Within a month.
Yeah, there has to be some notice. So some planning is needed. So he can take a chance. How are kids? Kids and how is progeny? He asked. We will basically see if things are fine or if there are any weaknesses. That's it. We won't do any timing, etc. How is this chart? How is D9 Vimshati Dasa? Sorry, how is D7? D7.
Lagna in
Lagna is Pisces.
Lagna is Pisces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change it to normal. Change it to normal.
Oh, sorry. I didn't change it to normal. Change it to normal, then it is Cancer.
Cancer.
Right. So Lagna is Cancer, having Moon and Rahu in it. So
Lagna Lord is there.
Lagna Lord is in Lagna, that's a blessing, but he's a weak moon, Amavasya moon. And 8th Lord Rahu is afflicting him, he's eclipsing him. That's a bad thing. Second thing, the 5th house, 5th Lord Mars is in 5th house. Again very powerful. He is afflicted by Saturn, but it's not that bad. Saturn is not a terrible planet here. So that's okay. 5th house is reasonably strong. And Karaka Jupiter is in a friendly sign. He's in Admitra Rasi. He is very powerful. So main weakness is Moon and Rahu. So there is a weakness with Moon and Rahu. So what should he do about it? I mean, basically...
Those dasas doesn't come for a long time.
Oh, you are looking at D7 Vimshati. That's good. That's excellent. Awesome. So if you look at D7 Vimshati Dasa, the Dasa running, to be running soon is Moon, Sun. And from 2018 it is Moon Dasa.
Yeah, 18. So.
Yeah.
The marriage occurs in 2012.
Right. But the thing is, it happens, if marriage occurs in 2012 or 2013, kids are born a couple of years later, which is basically soon after kids are born. At a young age at a young age basically, when the children are young, or child is young, he's going to run this Dasa. And this Dasa can show some problems relating to children, especially Moon with Rahu can show mental tension. So in Lagna, so it is basically his mind worried about children. So some problem for the children and he's worried about them. So that is basically a possibility. So for this Moon with Rahu, he should worship some Ugra Devata, like for example Moon Rahu combination can be Durga. So chant Chandi Saptasati or Durga Saptasloki. So chanting some prayer of Durga for the well-being of children is recommended. Not now, but after marriage. After wife becomes pregnant. Of course.
What was his question? When is he have a children?
No. He's not even married. So his question
I'm
is,
saying after the
marriage and in general, are things okay with children?
Okay.
The 5th house is powerful, so children will be okay. He'll have some good children, but they will give him some tension, some worries. Maybe some health problems or something. Any other comments you want to make?
So if you want to suggest a remedy, you go to that particular chart and you are taking, or you take from Rasi only?
That particular division chart.
For that area of life.
Right. So any remedies he asked. So overall, Moon is a very, very, very weak planet in this chart. Moon aspected by Saturn is very weak. So Moon is the main problem. And
From health point of view, Moon and Saturn.
yeah. And in this chart also Moon is the problem. So for Moon, worshipping Divine Mother is recommended, and Moon in a martial sign. So basically a barrier goddess, and Moon with Rahu. So Durga, I think will cover everything, health, children, it will cover various things. So suggest worshipping Durga. Any other comments, suggestions, observations?
we are not going to look at, we are not taking the Adidas in this case.
Yeah, we are
Not
not.
yet.
We are not. We covered them briefly. We start looking at them again. Any other comments, questions?
So we said that we will be in US for long rest of the time.
Actually, that he wasn't asking, so we didn't see. But the Dasha of Rahu, I think, right?
Yeah.
The Dasha was conducive, yes. Any other questions, comments? So any other questions in general apart from this? I'll email this to you guys. I'll delete the names and email. Om Loka samasta sukino bhavantu sarve jana sukino bhavantu यावत् भूमंडले सनातन धर्मो वर्धते विशेषतः भरतखंडे ओम शांति 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 सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।